Good afternoon, everyone. I wasn't expecting a response. Todos estamos hechos del mismo barro, pero no del mismo molde. We're all made from the same clay, but not from the same mold. While these wise words from my great-grandfather never reached my own ears, they were imbued within my soul through my mother and father. However, I can assure you that this proverb was the last thought on my mind when I discovered that school would finally be in person. It was the summer prior to my junior year of high school, and I was only a 16-year-old boy that was too worried about talking to someone face-to-face rather than through a screen. The meager words career choice and college held no meaning within my teenage mind, but I felt that as adulthood was only a short 2 years away, I needed to gain a sense of direction towards what I wanted to do after high school. My solution to this conundrum? AVID. At first, I had absolutely no clue as to what AVID could do for me. The only thing I knew was that AVID had these things called binder checks that haunted my older brother's dreams. Nevertheless, I thought that since I was entering my junior year with little to no idea on what I needed to prepare for in the coming years, why not give it a try? With this in mind, I submitted my application to my school's AVID advisor and secured my position as an incoming AVID scholar. Although I had failed to acknowledge a single minuscule detail when applying for the AVID program. My AVID class would be weaved together with an advanced placement language and composition course all year long. Apprehension cursed my mind on the first day of school as I trudged along the hallways to my AVID classroom, fearing what writing pieces I may need to produce or what poetry packets I possibly needed to analyze. However, a foreign sensation rushed throughout my body when I met my AVID instructor, Solace. Her name was Mrs. Anderson, a sweet yet stern woman who perceived the world in an optimistic light due to her abundant wisdom. And while I was frightened by what academic trials possibly lied ahead of me, she was only concerned with two simple questions. What is your name, and what are you looking for through AVID? It was then that I finally realized an unyielding truth. My choice to join AVID was not going to be easy, but that is the entire part of it. To set a challenge ahead of myself, push onward even through my failures, and become better because of it. As this epiphany cleansed my mind of all my previous doubts, I became completely prepared to discover what AVID represented and what it truly meant to be an AVID scholar. Nonetheless, as the school year progressed, the strict nature of Mrs. Anderson commanded her classroom with an iron rule, which sequentially became one of the driving forces that built my resilience. As I suspected, Mrs. Anderson assigned these devilish things called time rights, which never failed to rock me to my core. In addition, I finally understood why my brother muttered the word shake test in his sleep. As I became more accustomed with organizing my binder, for someone to comment no pencil pouch and dock me 5 points. Yet, through reflection, I can only feel gratitude towards these hurdles and the struggles I endured to overcome them. It is because of the time limits of Mrs. Anderson's writing assignments that I learned the true value of a minute and how it could determine whether your efforts amounted to a jumbled mix of words or a masterpiece that held no bitter aftertaste. It is due to the weekly binder checks of the AVID program that I adopted methods on how to truly organize both the physical and mental responsibilities that are received on a daily basis. And that if someone doubted if I could show all my corrected tests from a course that was a semester ago, I would only be 2 flips away from proving them wrong. 6 years ago, I sat before the stage and watched in wonder as my brother told his AVID story and how he achieved his vision of success. Today, I stand before you all to do the same as a first-generation college student who will be attending the University of Alabama this fall. Thank you. Thank you all. AVID has taught me that as the world labels aspirations as impossible, it is my responsibility as an AVID scholar to carve my own path through the unknown, because no matter what, si se pudo. Yes, it is possible, and you can all take me as living proof. From a young teenager who was once too anxious to talk to people, to the nationally recognized Hispanic scholar you see before you now, I can proudly say that the impossible is just a challenge that can be overcome with relentless resilience. A wise man once said, "Whatever you do, do it 100%. When you work, work. When you laugh, laugh. When you eat, eat like it's your last meal." And it is because of AVID that when it is time to work, I give my absolute effort to quickly and effectively achieve whatever goal that is ahead of me. When it is time to laugh, I converse and enjoy the time I can spend with my AVID family. And when it's time to feast upon the fruits of my own labor, I write a speech. Gracias y que Dios los bendiga. Thank you all.